Hi, beautiful beings. My name's Brittany, and today I'm going to be sharing about what I did last night to get into a powerful space of alignment and allowing when I was feeling off. I want to start by saying this is really amusing because I just recorded this video and I didn't turn the microphone on. We have this external microphone above the camera. Actually, I'm just gonna triple check it. Yeah, it's on now. And I was just laughing because I really recognize that I need to hear this message again. And I'm excited to share again. And I imagine it's gonna be even more potent and powerful. Usually I find myself in a space of presence and joy and fun and bliss and appreciation, love. Lately I've been experiencing heightened levels of unconditional love and joy and happiness. And that's really been my intention, to be in a space of love and appreciation no matter what's going on around me, and that I always have that choice, and it feels so good. And a couple days ago, I experienced, this is the best days of my life, and my external reality inevitably matched my internal feeling of elation and joy and alignedness. And it felt so good to be me in my physical body, living on this earth, appreciating. And I was feeling so high and so happy, and noticed that after that, I experienced some contrast. And normally what happens for me when I experience some contrast is I feel like, cool, okay, that makes sense, I get it. Got a little piece of data, grateful for it, and keep moving forward, and it doesn't rock, especially when I'm in that space. Like, I'm just really flowing. So like little, like if we think of a river, we're flowing, little pebbles along the way. It's just like, cool. Yeah, it's just like adding to the ride. It's giving more diversity to the ride. It's not taking me off the ride at all. And I was starting to feel like out of my place of power and presence and appreciation. And it was kind of, I feel like maybe it happened over 2 days. And normally, like, those 2 days were still really good. So maybe my previous self would have said, like, you're doing great, you're rocking it. And from this place where I had been just like, oh my God, on fire, I felt some judgment, and I wasn't appreciating what was happening. I was kind of resisting it. I was resisting what was coming up. And I've noticed, being the joyous, like so grateful to be the mama, caregiver, papa mama, whatever I am, to Ilya Gray Fox, who's my 9-month-old baby, that there's no resistance in their system. It feels like, to me, when they feel an emotion, they emote, they move through it, it moves through them, and then they're on to the next thing. And I think this is naturally the way we're set up to be. And I know for myself, I was not encouraged to do this when I was younger. And I think that it kind of taught me to resist sometimes when I'm feeling a lot of emotion, and to fear it, and to fear getting stuck in that space. I know that has been a fear of mine, when really the path of least resistance is to allow it, just to allow that to be, and just emote and move forward. So over these days, I was feeling like, okay, I can kind of feel this, what's happening. I wasn't feeling as present, which was so cool to notice in the days before, when I was feeling like, oh my God, so alive, so on fire. I felt so present, like everything was tingly. And it's like, I can feel it now. So I'm just stopping and appreciating it. And it was cool to notice, it has been cool to notice how joy and happiness and appreciation and presence, they all are linked in this way. So it was a great way to recognize, like, oh, this can be my in. I want to be more present. And when I decided to do that, I realized, okay, I'm getting this feeling, this vision, I need to go run to the woods. And so I'm going to tell you what I did. This is unique to last night and my process last night, this morning, and also it's really reflective of practices that I've found to be super helpful when I feel out of alignment. I put Pachelbel's Canon, which is a beautiful song. I imagine many of you have heard. It's a classical song. I put it in my ears, and I put a couple things in my side pouch, and I ran. We have these beautiful woods behind our home. We have this epic trail system of probably over 100 trails. And I ran to this special space, which is called the Witch's Circle. We named it that. And it took me about a song's worth to get there. And I just felt so good to run. And I think I was making these noises. I was just like, just like a releasing was already starting to happen. I notice Ilya as well makes these noises. I think they're really rubbing off on me in the best ways. And I laid on the ground and sobbed and allowed all this emotion to pour through me. It was like there had been this dam, and I opened it up, and everything flowed through me, everything I had been resisting. And I think it was about 3 songs worth. I just had the song on repeat in my ears. I just laid on the ground and sobbed and felt so held by earth and the trees around me and the sky, and the sun was starting to set. It was so beautiful. And naturally, I felt ready to sit up at some point. And one of the things I brought with me was a piece of paper and a pen. And I wrote. And if you've watched some of my other videos, you may know that I really love journaling, and I can find it can be really helpful to connect with myself. So I wrote on this piece of paper, and I did that for a little while, and then I decided to record, which is another thing I've been really enjoying. I turned on the voice memos on my iPhone. If you have it, you probably have that same app. I just started to record myself, and I ended up recording myself for about 30 minutes. And I started by reading what I had written. And then just found myself continually talking and just allowing, processing, feeling, being. And I had also brought this Palo Santo, which is like this sweet holy stick. And I burned that out there, and was just like enjoying being with the flame and the fire and the elements around me, feeling so connected to more of my true essence, which is this being of the earth, more connected to the simple truth of me, out of the stories that were maybe in my head keeping me from being present and grounded on this earth. I literally had to like lay my whole body on the earth and ground myself and sob and feel all of the energy move through me as I reconnected. And at some point I felt complete. It was about an hour out there, and then I was ready to go home. There was a beautiful meal waiting for me at home. I was so excited to eat that and get warm. And I had a couple days before, when I was feeling just like so on top of the world, recorded this message to myself that I recorded specifically to listen to if I was feeling kind of wonky or off at any point. And it really clearly came through that I just told myself everything's always perfect. And if I'm ever feeling anything other than amazing, it's that I'm resisting somewhere. It's really okay. And I can allow it and trust that everything is in flow and everything's happening for me, and this is part of it, and it's perfect, and it's okay, and I can be here, and I can appreciate this moment as much as everything else. And it felt so good and so right, and I felt light, and I was smiling and laughing and understanding the whole process of it and how perfect it really was. I did that as I jogged home and came home and ate the most nurturing meal and had a beautiful night. I felt so free. And then I woke up this morning and I danced. I just put my music in my ears and I danced, and that's what I did. And I feel amazing. I feel realigned, yes, and also I feel a deeper alignment and connection because of this whole process. And this feeling of knowing, and I have more space for everything, including more space for more elation and more joy and an honoring of the whole process. There's so much I could share. I could share infinitely on this topic, and this is what I wanted to share, really my process, because a lot of times I share about, you know, more of these joyful, excited themes. And that's mostly what I'm doing here. And also that joy is birthed from sometimes knowing what I don't want. And sometimes I end up getting stuck in that space a little bit and really getting to learn what I don't want. In this case, which was to not be present and appreciating. So that tells me what I do want, which is to be in a state of presence and appreciation and gratitude and love and joy and fun. And I imagine that's true for all of us, really. And I love sharing my experience because I love growing together. I feel like we really come all from the same source, and I feel so connected with you, and I feel drawn to sharing my process. I feel that that's a big part of what I'm doing here. I feel that sharing love is really my purpose for being here, and this felt like the right way to do that today, and I'm so grateful to be doing it. And I've been sharing love and my journey and tools and processes and things that have helped me personally for many years, and one of the ways I've done that is through some programs. So if you want to check those out, if you're feeling like, yeah, I want to do more of this kind of stuff, and I want help, and I want guidance, and I want to be able to feel into my own process while also being given ideas and supportive information and tools to do it, you can check out some of my programs. My Simplify program is a great one kind of for everything. My Healing Jealousy program is also a great one, surprisingly, for everything, and specifically if you're feeling like that can be an area you feel a lot of resistance, and have a lot more programs on there as well. So I'll link those down below, and I really appreciate you, and I'm so grateful to have this space to share my journey. And I'd love if you want to share any of your journey down below. If there are tools that you really love using when you're feeling a little off, I'd love to hear about them. And I imagine that the community here could really benefit from them. I love growing together. I love sharing our love and appreciation in this space together. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having the most beautiful day. I'm sure you are.